Okay, good morning. It is 10:21 Eastern Time, Thursday, October 13th, 2022, and I'm doing a mid-morning kind of update, even though I didn't put up the the training plans till not that long ago, but I'm going to walk away for today and do some other things. And let's look at what's happened or what seems to be happening. So actually, I think I'm showing a minute chart here. We'll come back to this. Let's look at the profile. I had put a big circle on here about rotating in volume. Again, we got a busy chart this morning with all these references that go back quite a ways. So we're looking at all the way up to possibly the prior low a day, which is right here. Looking at possibly rotating in this. We've already kind of, I guess I wouldn't say, came out of the more visible volume distribution, but you can see that we are really still in this where there was some volume starting to build. Okay, we'll rotate back down. I don't know, but let's look at what's going on. So we seem to have a slow grind. Market internals are not that strongly negative, but slightly. We have a kind of a slow grind. Will we close the gap? I don't know. It's such a far way, but we've already covered maybe half the ground. What I want to point out, though, which maybe, hang on, I want to be careful what I delete here, because it was a lot of work putting that stuff on there. Okay. All right. I'll move this in. Here's 10-minute profiles. Okay. On the 10-minute profile, do you notice something? Low, low, higher low, double distribution, higher low, double distribution, higher low, higher low, but no, I'm not going to count that. Higher low. Okay, we do have a reversal pattern right now. Could just be balancing. But what that means is, even though we need another TPO in the regular trading hours to 30-minute bar to start to define whether or not we're actually one-time framing higher, which is one of the clues and one of the possible ways to get on board, using some techniques to get on board with one-time framing. Underneath the hood, it's starting to form. You know, that's really important. Never heard anyone ever talk about that. Most people that do trade market profile probably don't look much more than a 30-minute bar. I'm all over the place with time frames, okay? Why? Because it gives you lots of different perspectives. It's all about hierarchy, you know, and also what you're trying to do. Anyway, but this is very good information. Now, right now, also, I don't have volume on here, but could be looking at this as a P shape. I haven't thrown a fib on here, which might be useful. Let me do that real quick. That could be some information. I'm going to go from all the way up here. Now, if you've checked out because I said fib, keep on checking out. The door is on the right, okay? Because this is maybe highbrow. You know, some people will call it voodoo. It's actually pretty darn highbrow, okay? Fibonacci. In fact, it's so highbrow, it's next to spiritual, really. Meaning, what do I mean by that? That probably sounds really off to some of you, and kind of hope it does. The point is that Fibonacci is within the fabric of the universe. It's in your own human body, and it manifests in behavior and all kinds of things. In human behavior, in markets, it's proven. All right, so we came back to a 38.2 retracement. Let me actually move it down to the W high where it really made the initiating move and see if that makes it any more. That doesn't look like it will. Okay. It doesn't have to be exact, but I just kind of want to see where we are. 38. Okay, well, almost made it to the 50%. So that's a little more like it. That's what's maybe really going on. Now, that would not, if it came through 50% and it was more up here, I would think we're probably going higher. But because it was 50%, that could just be profit taking on these shorts. And now a resumption to the downside. So that's something to be mindful of. We've stopped one-time framing. Again, we had a reversal pattern here in the 10 minutes. We stopped one-time framing on the 10-minute, but that doesn't mean we've stopped on the, that we're not going to on the 30 minutes. So I want to point that out. One other thing I wanted to share on this video before I go on to some other things is that I don't recall, I don't think I've ever put this many lines on a chart. I've never had the occasion to go back that far looking for references and structure that may be useful. May not be useful, but it may be useful. There's so many on here, and actually it'd probably be helpful to go down to 30-second. Actually, you know what it would be helpful to do is just look at it on a tick chart. So let me pull that in. One moment, I need to prepare that for a second. Let's see here. Chart. Let me pause the video. Okay, I'm getting a little more confidence in pausing the video and not losing everything. So here's a tick chart. Let's see how that played out on these. I'll remove this Fibonacci. Okay. Let's back up the truck here. So again, these lines go back to 2020. Now, could you trade off of them? Yeah, probably. I mean, look at this right here. This also, I believe, happens to be the overnight. Well, you know what? I needed to adjust the overnight low. The overnight low, I think, is a little bit lower. But you can see there was some confluence here with some prior lines, and comes up, comes down, comes up, comes down to this congestion. This, I guess some people call it supply. You know, there's so many things that ways to look at the market. Takes off out of here, gets hung up here on this little area. I'm just calling it an area. I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but you know, maybe people just like this number. Lots of people into numerology, you know who you are. Okay, so you know, you can see again, the point of me going through this is just to see like were these things tradable or worth knowing about. I think so. You know, so just moving forward. Actually, we can probably pull in the bigger picture now from 10 o'clock on. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm glad I put them on there. It, you know, is a little bit like, well, I'm not sure if it really matters, but if it matters in a short covering rally, that's less likely to matter, because when you get a short covering rally, you know, all bets are off. You know, people are just unwinding. You know, they're getting out, and then as the train picks up speed, you know, look out above or look out below. It's long liquidation. All right, that's all I wanted to share. There you go. So actually, in this case, all these four right here, all four go back to 2020, and you know, look how it kind of got hung up in here. It became support here. I mean, why did it become support? You'd have to ask each individual person trading, right, that put in an order here. That's the way I look at it. All right, enough of this video speculation. I want to point out the potential for one-time framing. We still are in the idea it could rotate back down. I'd say once we clear that 50% retracement area from whether it's the overnight, let's see here, overnight high, or from the initiating move at in this W period. Wait a second, yeah, that's 8:30 because X was right here. However you want to start it, that would probably mean we're going to close the gap, but that doesn't mean that the rotation's over. We need to see acceptance back into yesterday's range. So, all right, I'm off. I'm outie. Had a good morning myself so far, and I hope your day goes well. I'm sure I will, as per usual, come back in after I kind of have clear my mind and come in fresh, see what's happening later on. Thanks.